Gone are the days of going to the video store, but I could do a whole podcast on that or a whole episode just on the joy of going to the video store and especially on Friday night after you got out of school or whatever. You didn't have to do anything the next couple of days. Going to the video store was really lit. That's probably when I saw most of the movies. Was going to Blockbuster on Friday nights, but I digress. But yeah, that was probably the first time I saw this movie was on VHS video cassette. But cause I don't remember seeing it in theaters. Most of the movies I've seen in the movie theater I can remember going to see, because it left a mark. I don't remember going to see this, but I probably would have went and saw this at the time. It has some appeal. This movie stars Ethan Embry. I think this is the definitive Ethan Embry role. But Ethan Embry, he's on that show, Brotherhood. I guess it's a Showtime show, which I don't watch. I've heard about Brotherhood though. One day I'm gonna get into it when I have time. One day I'm gonna get to watch all these shows that I don't watch. But I've heard about Brotherhood. But Ethan Embry is on that show. He's been in a whole bunch of movies. He was in Empire Records and Sweet Home Alabama with Reese Witherspoon. Some of y'all remember that. But he's been. He probably was a bigger star in the 90s, honestly, than he is right now. But he's always he's never the main character in the movie. This was the only movie I can remember where he's the main guy in the movie, to be honest. I could be wrong. I'm not looking him up on Google right now, so you have to let me know in the comments or whatever, if you comment on my podcast or comment on this particular episode. Has Ethan Embry been in the main character in any other movie that you can think of, but Can't Hardly Wait? Because I really can't. This is his definitive role. And he also was on The Walking Dead this past season 6 of The Walking Dead. He was the guy that was trying to go against Rick in the season premiere, or the very first episode of this past season. And he ends up, spoiler alert, I'm not spoiling Can't Hardly Wait, but I can spoil this. He ends up getting eaten by the zombies, and Rick has to kill him or whatever to keep him quiet at the end. He's a dude that dies in the woods when they're trying to stop that horde of zombies or whatever. But anyway, that's Ethan Embry. And in fact, when I saw him on Walking Dead this past year or whatever, or end of last year when it premiered, and I saw him on that particular episode, I immediately knew who he was because of this movie. I was like, that's the dude from Can't Hardly Wait. That's Preston. That's the guy he plays in the movie, by the way. His character's name is Preston Myers. Is the name of his character that he plays in the movie. But wow, yeah. So Ethan Embry, this is probably his movie that he's going to be remembered for, unless there's just some other big ass movie that I'm forgetting. But like I said, he's had a pretty good career where he just pops up here and there in movies and TV shows. But this was his movie. This was the only movie I can remember of him being the main guy. And like I said, I could be wrong about that, but I don't care enough to Google it or look it up right now. If I am, there's probably a big Ethan Embry role that I'm missing. But anyway, there are other people in this movie. I'll move on to them. Of course, if you say that Ethan Embry is the main guy, the main female of this movie is Jennifer Love Hewitt. The sexy Jennifer Love Hewitt. What can I say about Jennifer Love Hewitt? Although it's that she has the body of a goddess. That's a good looking woman. 20 years ago or 18 years ago when this movie came out, she was looking good. She still looks good. She went from being a good looking girl into just a good looking woman. Like, she's aging very well. But this movie came out in 98, so it would have been like a year or two after she left Party of Five. Somewhere in between, I think, because she did those I Know What You Did Last Summer and I Still Know What You Did Last Summer. I think this movie would have been in between the first I Know What You Did Last Summer and then that second one that came out, I Still Know What You Did Last Summer. I definitely need to do those on the $5 movie bin review. Those movies. I like I Still Know What You Did Last Summer better than I Know What You Did Last Summer. But you remember I Still Know What You Did Last Summer? The one where they're on the boat, with the one with Brandy. And they're on the tropical island, and the white dude with dreads that ends up getting killed. I love that movie. It's a terrible movie. It's terrible plot wise, and it's kind of dumb, but it's just like one of those guilty pleasures of mine. I like bad movies. I like good movies that are bad, or bad movies that are good, if that makes sense. A movie that's necessarily not really a good movie, but it's just a pleasure and a joy to watch. And I Still Know What You Did Last Summer. The sequel to I Know What You Did Last Summer is one of those movies. I really, really enjoyed that. I guess you can call Can't Hardly Wait a guilty pleasure too for some people, but it's okay. It's a good movie. It's not like, I won't say Can't Hardly Wait, because that's what this episode is about. It's not about I Know What You Did Last Summer, or I Still Know What You Did Last Summer, even though I got on those two movies. But Can't Hardly Wait, I won't say that it's in my top 20 or even my top 50 movies, to be honest with you. But it does have Jennifer Love Hewitt in it, and it gets a lot of points. It's definitely going to be in the top 100 just because of that, because that is a good-looking woman. And during this time, 1998, when this movie came out, that's when, she was really blowing up, with the movies. Any movie she appeared in or popped up in, she was making bank. And, one interesting thing that I'm reading right now is this movie ranked number 44 on Entertainment Weekly's best high school movies. This movie came in number 44. That's interesting. I would love to look at the rest of that list and see what movies are on that list or how many of them I've even seen. But yeah, number 44, I would say that. Like, it wouldn't be very high, but it would be on the list of the best high school movies. But yeah, I agree with that. Entertainment Weekly. So, like I said, this movie came out in June of 1998, summer of 1998. It made $8 million opening weekend and over $25 million, I guess, worldwide, or by the end of its release or whatever. It made over $25 million, which was double what it cost to make this movie. I imagine that it didn't, I'm surprised it cost, half of $25 million to make this movie. Because really, this whole movie takes place at a high school party. So it probably was very inexpensive to make, honestly. And it's very self-contained movie. So I'm not surprised that they made the money, or they made double, when they released it or whatever. If you care about what Rotten Tomatoes gave this movie, they gave it 40%. I don't care about Rotten Tomatoes. They gave Batman versus Superman a bad rating or whatever, and I thought Batman v Superman was actually pretty good. It's not perfect. Like I say, I keep saying that. People haven't seen it yet. And if you haven't seen Batman v Superman Dawn of Justice, what the hell are you waiting on, dude? it's already the end of April. This movie's been out uh since March something. Why haven't you seen it? It's been out for almost a month. Um, Shame on you, shame if you haven't seen Dawn of Justice yet. And you gotta hurry up and go see it because Captain America Civil War is coming out, and next Friday. It's coming up in other places now overseas, but it comes out in America next Friday. So go see Batman v Superman maybe this weekend, and then go see Civil War next weekend. I'm definitely going next Friday night to see Civil War. I don't plan on working anywhere, and I may have more than one job, but I don't plan on working anywhere next Friday night. I'm going to see Civil War. I'm very excited about that. Yes, I'm going to do a podcast probably either the day before it comes out or a couple days before Civil War comes out. And it's going to be all about Captain America and Iron Man and the hype for this movie. Of course, it won't contain any spoilers because I won't have seen the movie yet. But yeah, I'm gonna do it like I did with Batman v Superman, where I do one podcast before the movie talking about the movie, and then I'll do another podcast, a spoiler podcast, after I've actually seen it next Friday night, and let you know what I think. Look out for that next week. Those should be 2 good episodes. But yeah, back to Can't Hardly Wait though. I think this movie has a pretty good soundtrack. It came out during 1998, a time when the soundtracks that came out for movies were probably a lot of the soundtracks were actually better than the movies themselves. And I think this is one of those cases where the Can't Hardly Wait soundtrack, it had a bunch of it had some pretty good music on it. So I don't know where you find that. You probably have to order that on Amazon or eBay or go to a yard sale. Somebody has it somewhere. I doubt you can find it at Walmart. I doubt they have old soundtracks. But wherever they sell old soundtracks at, if you see the Can't Hardly Wait soundtrack, go pick that up. But you find a lot of good stuff at yard sales, though. People that have had movies like this and soundtracks like this and they're trying to get rid of it, and they might sell it for like $1 or $2. That's something I highly recommend. Go to yard sales. And that's something else that's dying out. The art of the yard sale. You remember yard sales used to be like every Saturday morning. There'd be like 4 or 5 yard sales all across in the city or in different places or whatever in the neighborhoods. You go from yard sale to yard sale. Now I think that's something that's kind of dying out, and like the video store. But I kind of hate that, but it is what it is, though. But I'm gonna talk more about Can't Hardly Wait because I know that's why a lot of people are listening to this. Not to hear me ramble. I just don't want to give too much of the movie away in case there's nothing really to give away, really. Like I said, the main character is Preston, or Ethan Embry's character, Preston, and Jennifer Love Hewitt's character, Amanda Beckett, I think is the name of her character. And he's trying to tell her he's had a crush on her the entire time they were going to high school for 4 years, and he finally has gotten the guts up to talk to her. And this is all about, will he be able to succeed or will he fail? Is basically that's the main plot of the movie. There's a lot of little subplots that are going on too that don't really matter. They're just kind of there. And I don't know. I wish they'd focus more on that, on the love story part of it. Probably would have liked this movie a little bit more. Not that I hate it. It's okay. It's alright. But the little subplots Like, there's a subplot about the band breaking up. The band is playing at the party, and